Fear not, citizens. Hope has arrived because we are back with more My Hero Academia. This is the Amateur Otaku podcast where we talk all things in the world of Boku no Hero Academia. I am your host today, Lord Explosion Mike himself, in the flesh. Joining me, of course, is the Mad Doctor, Isaac. How you doing, man?
It's going good. It's going good.
Yeah.
And finally, I'm not exhausted because I managed to get a nap in before the recording.
That is amazing because this is not a chapter for the tired. We have to, it's all hands on deck, right? We're picking back up where we left off in chapters 359. If you are not caught up on My Hero Academia, we're covering chapter 360. So, spoilers for that. And this chapter is titled Despite It All. ... So, Isaac, this chapter opens up with Bakugo just getting demolished, and Shiggeraki, or all for Shiggy, simply asks the question, isn't Izuku Midoriya supposed to be here? Whew.
Yeah.
I know your team, like, I know you're not wishing death upon anybody, but you're definitely in the camp of Bakugo is not going to make it out of this.
And I'm still still on it, even especially after this chapter.
Yeah. So the thought of Shiggeraki just destroying Kachan is hilarious. I said this in one of our group chats, but it's like all the bullying, all of the pain Bakugo has caused multiple people in this series. It finally caught up to him in the worst possible way.
Yeah. Karma is something. I was about to say something not family friendly, but for once I was trying to catch myself there. So
Yeah, karma is indeed something. So we see Bakugo getting manhandled by All for Shiggy, and the entire time he's just being disrespectful to Bakugo. He's like smashing him with his feet, kicking him. There's a like on the second page. There's way too much feet art, Isaac. It was very concerning. I don't know what was happening with Horikoshi when he was doing this particular panel, but it's uncomfortable how much we see Shigaraki's feet on page 2 of this chapter.
And well, I know I said that before, and I say it again. I'm looking forward to your horror manga, Horikoshi.
Yeah. I love the line though. You will always be like a footnote in the wake of One for All. That is just insane. It's like all of Bakugo's worst nightmares come to light, right?
Yeah. And we also get the answer of where why the heck our big three in terms of the UA students weren't there at the beginning. Also,
we do, and it's exactly what we thought. We'll get into that in a second. So Bakugo is about to get destroyed, and Nejire-chan comes in to not save the day, but to at least save our boy. And from our conversation last week, I'm just really glad she got a moment. Like, she is really the only one right now who is at least able to keep Shiggeraki on his toes, which is insane. Like, how powerful is Nejire?
Pretty powerful, to say the least.
Oh man, that's great. She looks a lot like Uraraka in this chapter, though, with like the new haircut. It's weird.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but haven't she been sort of like a mentor to Uraraka? So the parallels somewhat make sense if that's the case. My memory might not serve me right, I will admit.
Kind of, but in the same way, you can say Lemillion was Deku's mentor, so not a lot. But it did happen for like a mini arc there. But also, that part of that was in a filler episode that you'd hate. So the beach episode strikes again.
It was just so blatant of why they did like it did, and that's what make me so annoyed by it.
Well, it is what it is. There's no fixing at this point. Nejire and Sun Eater are combating all for Shiggy, and I just love we get to see like this hybrid beast that Sun Eater becomes. He becomes like part octopus, part scorpion, and he's shooting like toxins into Shiggeraki.
So did they remove the poison before he ate the scorpion?
I mean, that's the weird part, because if they did, would that mean he doesn't have the venom? But if he has the venom,
Yeah.
did he consume the venom? I'm confused.
Yeah, this is confusing because you can't exactly eat, or is he poison immune to poison? Considering he's a Kirk.
That's a very good question. I don't know.
I know it's an. You can argue that it's a nitpick to some extent, but I mean that actually did caught me off guard. I mean, was a scorpion. He gets powers from what he eats.
Here's
okay.
the thing. Here's the thing, though. We never see him eat. So, like, it feels like maybe Horikoshi's just like, he's got animal powers. Don't think about it. I'm not trying to remind you that he has to eat these things because we don't see a panel of him like popping anything in his mouth. So maybe we're supposed to forget that detail in this moment.
He ain't trying to retcon his power or something, or that is that what you mean?
Kind of, sort of, maybe. But that's not the even the biggest issue I have with this page. We're only on page 7, halfway through. In that corner, you see that Shigeraki's arm, where the scorpion is about to stick him, a mouth appears, and it chomps the scorpion tail.
Again, horror.
It's not, well, my issue is that isn't Eraserhead erasing his quirk right now? So I mean, that's not a quirk. He can just open mouths on his arm.
Yeah. They, I mean, they are talking about he's going to evolve to the ultimate life form, and then it's this.
Yeah, that's just weird, dude. That's weird.
And again, going to what I'm always talking about, horror manga, the next page where we see almost a full page, except for the whole my body continues to adapt. It's just. Yeah, this is straight up from a horror manga.
For those listening, we're on page 8, and it is something else, I will say.
I feel sorry for Bones animate that, because I can see it being a high rating if they want to be just this whole shenanigans alone, just because, well, the images. I know, sure, it's not gory or anything, but images. We all know that "quote unquote" scary images can raise the H rating also. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think this is any more disturbing than what they got away with in the MVA arc, but yeah, I get
you. That's up to debate, but I get you.
I mean, just we see chunks of Shigeraki's family on the ground and pools of blood. So I feel like the teeth monster is scary, but not nearly as disturbing as that image.
Fair point.
Yeah. Also, Jujutsu Kaisen is creepy as heck. So
again, isn't that no? That's a teen show. I was for one second I thought it was an adult-oriented show.
Nope. So our boy Lemillion pops in, literally. The Fallout Boy returns, scoops up Bakugo, yeets him backwards to Best Genus. And it's something Brandon was mentioning before. It just feels really weird to have this moment right now in the series. Like getting Lemillion interacting with Shiggeraki. Gold. Like even the dialogue that actually happens, it's so great. Oh, so you don't have friends. That's why you're the way that you are. You know, that's a great line. But there's so much going on.
It's a bit cheesy though.
It's so, yeah, like this probably could have happened. This interaction could have happened at the beginning of this fight. But Bakugo's about to die, man, and we're joking around with all for Shiggeraki.
Yeah, like I said, it's a bit cheesy, and I mean, it is within the. Should I say it is with? It fits the character. It's just.
Yeah.
the timing of it all.
Yeah, it's very strange timing. It's Marvel Cinematic Universe type of timing where we're undercutting this big dramatic moment from a second ago with a joke
Yeah,
to lighten up the
yeah,
mood.
yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on what the heroes are doing right now? Like the pro heroes. Why do the big three have to swoop in? What the heck is Best Genius doing that he can't be the one to save his student or his pupil?
I mean, I mean, looking at he was. If you really think about it, if you say the reason for that is honestly quite simple. He says allow to search your right arm, Dynamite. He was there to, well, pretty much help his wound. So
I
in
mean, I
order
feel like
to,
that's what he's just doing now because he has to. But he's a top 5 hero,
yeah,
Like, isn't
yeah,
he
but
like the
I think
number
it's
3?
yes, he is. But I say it again. It's because someone needed to stitch up Bakugo. So,
But
but as soon
Bakugo was
as
fighting alone almost this entire time. Is my
yeah,
point?
I
Like,
know.
what
Yeah, I
was he
know.
doing?
I know. I'm not arguing there.
Oh
But
man, sorry. Go ahead.
also, um, but yeah, we all know that they are going to get their ass kicked if Deku isn't there anytime soon.
I don't know. I feel like Shiggeraki might just be toying with them. That's the scary part, and this is what I hate about the All for One character is that we have no idea what he has up his sleeve. And that was cool the first few times we fought him or saw him, but at this point, it's just annoying because it's just like, what else are you gonna pull out of nowhere? And I just have to accept it. That has happened multiple times now. Like we're erasing his quirk, but now he can still grow arms. He can still grow, mouths at any point of his body. I really hate that, and it destroys any sense of tension for me because it's basically nothing matters until Deku shows up. Because, like you said, it feels like they have no shot at winning because we don't even know how powerful this guy is.
Yeah, but honestly, it's. Do you know how I told about? I feel Bakugo is sort of like it feels like he's going to come down. He's helping. He's for a decade. Arguably, maybe even to the point that some might argue that is Deku truly the one that takes him down or something. Now that I think about it, because it's the last 2 pages. Then you hear him say right side, finger faint. And Genius realized that he has seen weaknesses in him.
Yeah.
And I believe that he is so torn up because how the shit talk is then. And he is so dead set on protecting Deku that if he is doing his I'm gonna die but I'm taking you with me kind of thing, and he ends up dying, even if it doesn't and I don't think he's going to kill all Shiggy, but wound him enough that that Deku can take him down. Yes, and I'm just spitballing here. That wouldn't surprise me a single bit at this point, especially if he's the one that, especially with how his entire viewpoint is just going upside down, to say the least, and he's still fighting. And we all know that he is hell bent on keeping Deku alive now.
Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to get to that in a second. I just want to reemphasize something Deku said a good 20 chapters ago.
Yeah.
This is the story of how we all became the world's greatest heroes, right? And
I know.
I feel like that's evident in look at what the big three are doing. The pro heroes couldn't do anything to Shiggeraki, but Nejire, the one we thought was the most useless of the bunch, is giving Lemillion a power boost. Isaac, she's doing the sharing of the chakra that we talked about Deku doing, and giving Lemillion the ability to at least deal a blow, even if it's just a punch, to Shiggeraki.
But here's one thing that I think you're missing. Just because you don't have to be alive to be seen as one of the world's greatest heroes. You can.
That's not what I'm saying. I didn't finish my
Okay,
point.
go on. Oh, sorry. I thought you had.
No, you're good. My point is they're all giving it. They're giving it their all, and so I hear what you're saying about, yes, they can have a heroic sacrifice and be seen as the world's greatest heroes, but if they don't deal some sort of major blow, and this end of the chapter that you're talking about, like, I love the shot of it, and it's one of the smallest images in the entire chapter. You see Bakugo right on the ground next to Best Genus, and you just see mutter. He is thinking like Izuku Midoriya. They are rubbing off on each other. He's deducing the situation, figuring it out. But then you see around Bakugo's face, you see these stars, right?
Yeah.
In his sweat glands. He's just had a quirk awakening. And that is incredible because up till this point, the only time Bakugo can make an explosion is from the nitroglycerin sweat in his palms, in his hands. But if his face is now sweating and making little explosions, it's over. Bakugo's, all of his sweat, I assume, it can now create explosions. It can deal a much bigger blow to Shiggeraki. And the problem that I find in saying that he's going to die relatively soon is that out of everything that just happened to him, he's not broken, right? His arm might be broken, but we thought he lost that arm. Not, let's just get you back up because you still need to fight, which is what Best Genus says. Like, we thought Bakugo would be crippled and forever broken from this battle, but it looks like he's just got to walk it off, like get a 5-minute break, and he's back ready to go.
Yeah.
So
I get what you mean, but it just
until I see definitive, I guess my thing is the ass kicking he just took, and he's still standing with no significant damage that is at least noticeable. I have no reason to think he's going to die right now anytime soon.
To be fair, they managed to save him, quote unquote, quickly. So yes, just because there is a round 2 doesn't mean he will survive sort of like that, even with a quirk boost.
Well, my thing is, now that the big 3 are here, and he's having a quirk boost, and we know Deku can't be that far away, I feel like Bakugo is still safe. I'm not saying it's 100% he's not going to die, but there is nothing that suggests he should have died in this chapter, or we should have at least seen more damage to him in this chapter, especially with the way it opened. But we thought he lost an eye, man, and he didn't. We thought he lost an arm, and he didn't. So honestly, I think the plot armor is still on Bakugo at the moment.
Yeah, but the plot armor can go away anytime soon. Honestly,
I don't know. He's the series' biggest character. It's a lot to ask.
Yeah, I know, but again, to reaffirm everyone, do I want him dead? No. Do I think it makes sort of like a thematic sense, and can I understand it? And honestly, if there is anyone, a student that if it were forced a bullet to my head and say there's one on the UA students gonna die, who is gonna be? I would say Bakugo with a blink of an eye.
Yeah, I totally disagree because Bakugo is art. There's an ice cream truck. If you guys hear that, I'm sorry, but
I want ice cream.
But no, like, I would go the opposite directions because out of everything that just happened to him, and he's still willing to fight, I think he's okay.
Yeah,
I feel like we just missed our window to kill him.
That I disagree, considering the whole thing about your sort of like we just because, how should I put it? You get sure. In Infinite War, going back to the Marvel holds up, they get their ass kicked in a round with Thanos, and it looks like they might be able to win, but they at the end of things, even though majority of them survives, they still lose, and so it's kind of like that sort of thing. Just because Shiggy won round 1 doesn't mean he's losing round 2 against Shiggy. I think he's going to get a much bigger blow. Yes, that one is for certain. But I don't think that Kirk boost is gonna, especially knowing. Yeah, I don't think that's for certain.
So remember in the last war where Deku is fighting Shiggeraki, Bakugo takes that hit, and we thought
Yes.
Bakugo was going to die there, and he didn't.
Yes.
I feel like again, you keep setting up Bakugo's going to die, or he's potentially going to die. You don't follow through with it. By the time we get here, which is now the third time, because he should have gotten significant damage in this chapter. He just should have.
That I can agree with.
And
That
he
I
didn't.
can agree with. That
So
part I can agree with. That he's have a ton of plot armor, but
yeah, so
I'm
I guess
just
my
going
thing
with
is a lot of yours is speculation, which is fine. That's what we do here on the podcast. We speculate all the time. But my thing is, I don't think there's enough evidence to suggest he's going to die.
the only one that you're agreeing that most likely gonna die is Endeavor, or am I misremembering things?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I really don't think anybody's gonna die because My Hero is just not the type of series that kills people off that often.
I mean,
But
tell that tonight.
yeah, but again, Night Eye was a character that was introduced in that arc and died in that arc. I'm talking about significant characters have not died. Gran Torino hasn't died, as far as we know. We have no confirmation of that. All Might is still alive. So
Never, unless you see the body dead, the character is not dead, or whatever you wanna.
yeah,
What's the saying?
I would not be surprised if there's an epilogue and you see Gran Torino at Deku's graduation.
Yeah, but like I said before, I hope you're right. It's just gut feeling.
Yeah, and I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying I don't have enough evidence that it's going to happen just yet. Especially him not taking significant damage in this chapter and then getting a power up. That just makes it feel like he's going to be able to fight alongside Deku when he comes back. And then we have no idea what happens once Deku finally shows up. Maybe he dies then, but as the things stand right now, we missed our shot to kill Bakugo in this chapter.
Yeah. I disagree that you missed a shot, but I cannot see what you mean. That it feels like would have felt like the best opportunities, sort of like speak, or one of the best at least.
I just feel like Bakugo's story doesn't end here. That's not a satisfying conclusion to his character progression or his character arc.
Which is why I'm suggesting him sacrificing himself to save Deku.
I don't even think that's a satisfying conclusion because we already got that moment, right? If that's the first time that happens a year ago and that's where he died, I get it. But like we are establishing their camaraderie and their friendship, so him dying, saving Deku, I still don't think it's a good ending.
Yeah, but honestly, the reason I feel like it would be a wouldn't fit to kill him off there is because, like we mentioned before, his arc kinda ended when he apologized to Deku. He hadn't apologized that he didn't have his Vegeta in the Majin Buu arc revelation there then. So what did you say?
Nothing. I'm just like I have no idea what that means, but all right.
He realized during the fight against Majin Buu that why he will never be stronger than Son Goku, and he monologues himself as to why.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We still haven't even gotten that from Bakugo.
I dare argue that we have.
We haven't because Bakugo's entire character is he wants to be the strongest and the best. Him apologizing to Deku resolves that part of his arc. That's what I'm saying. Like that part of his story is resolved, but his drive is still to be the number one. And he keeps saying, in spite of all of Deku's power, he is still going to surpass even that. And I think him sacrificing and coming to terms with that Vegeta style hasn't been developed enough. Like, we haven't seen him struggle with him and Deku's rivalry as far as power level. So that's what I mean by that's something you do once this story is over. There's still stories left to tell with Katsuki Bakugo. It would just feel really cheap for it to happen in this particular moment for me, especially because a lot of Bakugo's character arc is also working as a team, right? And he hasn't really done that. Even with the team he's in right now, he's kind of just been going solo, him and Mirko. So I feel like if we even resolve that plot line for Bakugo, like him leading the charge with the big three, that'd be cool. But they didn't even address that until, you know, you get to the end and he's kind of muttering to himself. You can argue that they might be setting that up now.
Fair point. Fair point.
But we shall see. Isaac, there's nothing going in the jar today because we did not make a reference to you know what. First time in probably over a year.
And what did you think of? You mean Naruto?
You had to say it. You were so close.
I mean, we did a Dragon Ball reference instead.
Yeah, Dragon Ball doesn't have a swear jar though, so.
Well, let's start that one then.
Nah, I'm good actually. I think this was a fun conversation. This was a very short chapter, so the fact that we went on a tangent talking about the fate of Katsuki is pretty fitting, honestly. Let's see what the heck happens, because Best Jeanist doesn't even finish his sentence in this chapter. We didn't even address that. He just says, "This boy, despite everything, he's still ... We didn't even let the man finish his thought in this chapter. That's how quickly Horikoshi wrapped it up.
Yeah. But luckily we don't have to wait 2 weeks for the next chapter.
We don't. Guys, we're going to be back here recording the day it comes out. So you guys get these episodes on Monday, the day after the chapters come out. So it's going to be fun. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment down below with your theories. Do you think Bakugo is going to bite it in this arc? I really hope not. I think there's still more to do with that character before we wrap it up. Maybe you agree with Isaac, though. Maybe you think Bakugo, his time has come to a close. The plot armor is about to fall off. The weighted clothes are going to be removed, and he's going to bite it against all for Shiggeraki. With that said, though, thank you guys for watching. You can find the podcast at Amateur Otaku Pod on the Twitter. Interact with us over there. We're talking all things anime. Same thing here on the channel. Isaac, what's coming up on the Amateur Otaku Podcast, and where can people find you, my man?
Well, we have... well, first of all, we can... like normal, although we are somewhat behind, we're still doing Doron Dororon and Kaiju number 8, me and Brandon. As of this recording, we haven't... I don't know. I think we are going to post it on Tuesday. No, I think I will post that one on Wednesday. We have the recording of Princess Kaguya that we Studio Ghibli movie that we recently did, me and Mike, and we are sort of doing Mike's first watch of 2 series soon. That I think that Mike can mention instead of me.
Yeah, we're going to be going through Death Parade and the Violet Evergarden. I know those shows have already been covered here on the channel, but I haven't watched them. So,
for example, correction, it have been covered on the podcast feed, but never on YouTube channel. But like Mike said, he has never watched them, so I felt that instead of doing those as a commentary. Post those legacy episodes, we could do something new with those series at least. Especially since we can all agree that he should watch those series.
Should be fun. Can't wait for all the content coming up here, Isaac.
Also, a last bit. I have a sort of like a warning. We are on Thursday as of now, last episode of our Sword Art Online coverage is coming out, and well, let's just say that it's not safe for work recording. You think I was ranting in the series finale of Promised Neverland? Yeah, that's nothing in comparison.
Oh boy, that should be something to watch out for. You can remember. Don't forget to follow Isaac on Twitter at @emblemaniac. Follow Brandon at the Scarlet Fan 52 on Twitter as well. As for me, you can find me at Novice Cinephile everywhere except for Instagram, where it's the Novice Cinephile. But you can find me on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. YouTube channel is going to be fun. We have an episode of the Chatter After covering Parasite, as well as an episode here covering Parasite the Maxim, because it's funny. Stay tuned for that. With that said, we will catch you guys next week where we're doing My Hero Academia Chapter 361 and 2 My Hero Academia OVAs. Fun time. The show comes back October 1st. It's going to be a blast. Until next time, go beyond. Plus ultra.